Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another exciting, innovating, and amazing Propagandacast with me, your host, Imperial Dane, the one, the only master propaganda hero of Psych Defender of the Fatherland, off it to a glorious 1v1 match on Faymonville Approach in the north. It is Vanderboos fighting for the Wehrmacht, Germany, Deutschland. Here with the 16th Panzergrenadierdivision with defensive featuring Osttroopen, defensive fortifications, the Stug 3E, Pak 43 and Sect Artillery with Panzerfaust, Panzer and Pak 40 bulletins. In the south it is Umirinbrah, fighting here for the Red Army, the Soviet Union, Comrade Stalin. Rolling out here with the 7th Guards Mechanized Corps here, the Guard Motor, Armored Assault and Mechanized Support. Definitely emphasis there on T-35s and heavier armor there, plus, of course, Guards Rifle Infantry. We got an Osttroopen Grenadier start here from Vanderboos. Looks like he's using the Ostrom to get out some infantry just at the very start of the game faster here. And then following with the regular infantry, which is an interesting build order there. Let's see if it goes for any more Ostrom, and that'll just be the only Ostrom squad here that goes for. Third comp squad here on the way there for Umirin. Moving towards the center, we're going to see a bit of sort of dancing about here, as they're sort of trying to find each other, but they're so far missing each other. Up north, engineers are steadily advancing for the Red Army, securing the northern fuel point already. Very good, sandbags secured there. Ostrom pulling ahead here, we got Gunners pulling up here. Bit more to go for and lay down sandbags. So that's 2 command points, so his men can start laying down sandbags, which of course is pretty handy there for the Germans. But there you go, Ostrom caught with the conscripts. Umirin strikes for the Red Army. The mercenary guns here, there's the Ostrom. The Karnat TKs unable to respond efficiently. Parnies look like they're going to sneak up here behind. Sneaky bold maneuver there. Going to say Norfolk's there for Vanderboos. Worth noting, of course, no MD42s. Second conscript or engineer squad for Umirin. So likely Guard mode here, mechanized support though. My money would in 9 out of 10 cases be on Guard Motor. Put them off the Ostrom if they don't have any cover, unless they're in cover. They pretty much can't hit the broadside of a barn from the inside. Of course, once they get in cover, they sort of have a decent performance. And there you go, Ostrom up close there with the conscripts. Have a fair chance here. Pioneers to push back. They've got more troops nearby for a minute. Grenadier squads there are heading towards the centre now, though they're still fairly scattered out there. Third Grenadier squad there. So it looks like he's just going for one Ostrom squad, simply for that early capture speed boost there, and possibly other reasons. North of pumping seat, you can see that Vanderboos has managed to get himself quite thinly, making it easy for Umirin to that way overwhelm him. Definitely a bit odd, though, if I have to be perfectly honest. South is actually looking like it's going to be completely conceded here by Vanderboos, heading northwards instead with most of his forces. We'll have to see what happens next. Possibly some tech here once he gets the fuel. He, of course, is a bit short on that, hitting the cuff point there. Basically going for a bit more indirect combat here with Vanderboos hitting the resources. Not bad at all. Bessel, the Wonder Kitty, concurs. Also making up the west side here. Back there we got medics up there for Umirin. Sandbags here, lots of digging in here around the southern fuel point, expecting a German head-on assault here, which so far Vanderboos is doing nothing to oblige. In fact, he's slowing northwards here, pushing back the engineers. Got some forces in the slack, shall say, watch detail. He's probably trying to figure out what Umirin's next move is. So is Bessel as well. Guess he wants a bit of attention here. And he's routed up north. They're fighting for a fuel point. He's pushed back there despite the flamethrower. They fall a bit short. There was the Gunners. We've also got flamethrowers here for Vanderboos. Interesting choice to up against the Soviets. Normally you'd expect a lot of mines, but Vanderboos wants the flamethrower. In this case, the Flammenwerfer 35. There was also a more modern version of Flammenwerfer 41, which had better range, amongst other things. Due to better pressure, it was also much lighter, making it easier to haul around. There was apparently much more common as well there in World War II. Little fun fact there. Conflict against the Pioneers. We've got the Grenadier squad arriving here. Ostrom squad easily routed here by Umirin. Now, worth noting, of course, he's no longer in cover, so that works out a bit better here. Of course, in the heavy cover, if Vanderboos here uses the train, he can actually flank the positions. I mean, there's a definite flaw here in this defensive setup, meaning, of course, if Vanderboos moves from here, gets around to get to the building, can actually like completely undermine the position. So that's exactly what Vanderboos is doing. Thumbs up to that. Up north, we've got 2 Grenadier squad to defend the northern fuel point here. Ostrom squad getting ready. Tech down there for Vanderboos. Nothing further happening. We got meanwhile Umirin rushing ahead there with the tech. Very nice. We'll have to see what he's planning there, but still kinda commanding there. Go Parniers as expected, flanking around here. Umirin's southern position there suddenly looking a lot more compromised. Up north, the further assault going on here from Umirin, trying to seize back the fuel point there. Rifle grenades launching engineers. doesn't do any damage. Basically just waste munitions here for Vandermoos and the German army. The 16th Panzer Grenadiers. Engineers was the advanced... Oh, Grenadiers was the advanced engineers. Slowly tighten the net here in the south. You can see there, Umirinbrah is still mostly safe with the positions here, but is slightly repositioning himself. So making it harder here for Vandermoos to use the position. Actually retreat the Pioneers, probably wants to take up, then realizing he has a lot of manpower floating. But honestly, you could go for a Panzer Grenadier squad, a machine gun, or a mortar here, I think. But that's just me. There we go. Umirinbrah in a move that surprises next to no one has gone for the Guard Motor Commander. There we go, calling the Guards Rifle Infantry, constantly routed here by Vandermoos. Surrounding the Conscript Hill women with sheer tenacity. Up north, the fuel pump claiming there for the Red Army. We're in the centre here. Umirinbrah's got a bit more to go for the T-70, where the fuel pump's being under control fairly well there. Not too far either. Like to make a nice come up there for the German army, but still no additional elements here. Guess he wants the armoured car and a Pack 40 at the same time, and so does not wish to like risk anything else there. That is a possible interpretation here of his manoeuvres. We've got the Guard Strike Squad there with the DP light machines on the way there. We've got the 2-2 on the way here for the German army. North, you've got Grenadiers and Units for the centre victory point. A lot of back and forth here. Down with a wire there. Again, thanks to defensive fortifications, since Grenadiers can lay down barbed wire, so can his Ostturben. And if it gets any Panzer Grenadiers, they can also lay down sandbags and barbed wire. It's a fairly handy little ability there. Ostermus, the advancing guardsman here. Flanking with the Pioneers again. He can't easily use these as long as like Vandermoos can just quickly flank around here, so I'm surprised he still keeps at it. And there you go, I think he spotted them. Realised his position was pretty blighted and started to pull out. There we go, grenade on the Pioneers there, and does a bit of damage here, but not enough to really deter the Pioneers. We've got more troops arriving here, which may deter them, but at the same time, oh, yep, there we go in the end. Vandermoos just lacks enough firepower to really hold the position. He's still flooding manpower, no machine guns, no Pack 40, no mortars, no panzers. Oh, there we go, spoke too soon. Is finally going for that MD42. There's definitely been a trend towards Wehrmacht players increasingly going for later and later MD42s. Part of which I suspect is simply just the slightly clunky nature of the machine gun, but also the fact it's actually bugged. Specifically, it's the MD42. Its tracking does not work properly. So there's definitely, I think, some reason here for some Wehrmacht players to just basically look for other alternatives, at least initially, so they don't have to rely on the machine gun in critical measures. Then once it's sort of a more stable position, they will go for the machine gun, because at that point the tracking bug won't hurt them as much. Up north, it goes back to Guineas. We've got the T-70 here for Umirinbrah. Mine's done there. Armor car being fixed up. He's advancing the Ostturben. Guardsman against the Cons. Back up the Conscripts there. You could merge the Conscripts with the Guardsman, actually getting up to full strength. I think that'd be fairly good idea for Umirinbrah. Minesweeper was there for Umirinbrah in case, of course, Vandermoos has been laying down mines. He hasn't. Pack 40 following up. He just the T-10 arrives. So, of course, thanks to the anti-tank in production at 1-up bulletin, he can get out that Pack 40 relatively fast here versus Umirinbrah. But yeah, a bit of a stand-up condition in the south that you really should consider like a mortar, some assault troops, or at least a slightly smarter angle of attack there. North Grenadiers right again, lacking any anti-tank weapons. The T-70 quickly forces a retreat here, and there's even a good chance of a wipe here. He basically stuck around for too long with Grenadiers at too low health. Definitely a bit of a bad call here by Vandermoos, and Umirinbrah there beautifully explodes in the south. The armor coming to assist, but again, we've got the Ostturben flanking in here. Obviously, further dug in position. He's really laying in a lot of sandbags here, much more than you typically see a Soviet player think for such a position here. But Umirinbrah clearly has faith in Soviet sandbagging powers. And there you go, forcing back the troops here. Up north, though, this front line has collapsed under Umirinbrah's swift lightning assault there. And now Umirinbrah calls in the heavy mortar. That's going to add some more serious pressure here to Vandermoos and the 16th Panzer Grenadier Division, and make his position a lot less enviable. Might want to take up here soonish, I guess. Though again, adding some other elements first would also be a good idea, like a Panzer Grenadier squad. MD42 the catching the engineers backing up the T-70, Pack 40 trying to catch the T-70 here. Apparently popping into recurve mode. I think he was trying to like figure out where the Pack 40 was, so he can like sort of dodge around a bit further. Back hit reinforcing healing, got the hay mortar moving up. He's going to bombard that machine gun position, or possibly the Pack 40. There you go. That's actually what I was doing, that not to keep it to get the better idea where the Pack 40 was. And there you go, Panzer Squad there for Van der Moos. Thumbs up. North there, Umirinbrah secures the terrain there for the glory of the Red Army. South side here, going to ground the point here. Panzer Squad halfway done. Heavy mortar fire the landing in the armoured car, causing quite a bit of damage there to Van der Moos's 222. Grenadiers and MD42 there, also taking heavy damage there. Panzer Squad right about done there for Van der Moos and the 16th Panzer Grenadier Division. Giving him some actual assault troops here versus Umirinbrah. Thumbs up to that. And Basil concurs. If he had thumbs, that is, of course. God help us if he ever gets thumbs. Anyways, Guards from the Grenadiers there. No light machine over them. Hey Friedrich, wenn du again one of these Maschinengewehren? Oh, you know, wenn sie freeze up sein logistics. Oh, scheiße, ja. No tech yet here for Van der Moos. You'd think he'd also slightly prioritise getting up faster and get unlocked the light machine guns for Zostruppen. We'll have to see what Umirinbrah does next. I'd imagine some tech is on the near horizon there because, you know, he probably wants to also get his conscripts upgraded within the near future as well there. Push up the center MD42 Ostruppen, back up the Pack 40, but they're all not really well set up here. Allowing here Umirinbrah, I think, to easily swap it back there. The Ostruppen definitely should have been the vanguard here. And we can also see things going a bit sad there for Van der Moos's MD42. We got the heavy mortar, the rain down death, 2 kills on it already. Forced away there. Up north here, a bit of pressure here by Van der Moos, and the Panzer Grenadier Squad is back at base. Having a nice glass of schnapps. And he can call in the Stugin now if he's got tech, but he doesn't. And of course, the question if he wants Stugs right away here, Stugis that is. Got the T-7, a good kill here. Definitely a problem if Umirinbrah loses a light tank and loses a strong pressure point element here versus Van der Moos. He does get the armoured car, which also limits then Van der Moos's mobility as well. Very good there for Umirinbrah, but of course less good for Van der Moos. Panzer coming up there against the Guardsmen, landing some good hit for the Sturmgewehr. Geballte Ladung there, ends up doing bugger all there against the Guardsmen. Up north here, point being grabbed there, away from the Soviets. Guardsmen falling back in the face of the Panzer Grenadier as they mercilessly pursue the Soviet elite troops there. Down to half strength there, close to 82. The Panzer Squad will need to retreat though. At this range, they definitely lose out to the Guardsmen's DP light machine guns. No, oh, we do get the tech there for Van der Moos. Thumbs up. And we get a CIS-3 divisional field gun there for Umirinbrah. Obviously starting to expect the possibility of armour arriving here from the German army. He very wisely decides he wants to be ready for that. Vessel wanting some more attention. Gonna see it, healing themselves up. Very good. Units caught laying down mines on the southern field point. Van der Moos and Oberfeldwebel Gottlieb there's having none of that. Basil, stop biting me. I'm not a toy. No. What's up with you? Sometimes that cat, you just seem like complaining that he doesn't get to bite my hand. The little bastard. He's obviously in a very playful mood. You can tell that by his ears. Anyways, Cramps grabbing the northern point here. Bunker up there for Van der Moos. Oh, not bunker, I mean trench. Ow, you caught me off guard there. Anyway, Stug 3E. Sorry about that. Cat was basically suspended from my arm. He was that determined to try and bite my hand. Anyway, Stug 3 out here for Van der Moos. Should add the pinlock machine gun. Fights, of course, men with some light artillery support, which was the original intent of the Stug 3E. To provide close quarters artillery support there on the more mobile basis for German assault formations. It could also deal with armor. That was part of its role. By the way, as a fun fact there, but it was basically meant as sort of self-propelled artillery that could, you know, also double as an anti-tank spot against just more close quarter stuff there for more direct fire, in a sense. Initially conceived of, I believe, actually by von Manstein, but also future Field Marshal von Walter Model would also have a hand in its development. Fun fact there. Initially, it was actually part of the German artillery branch because they were the only ones who actually were willing to develop it. Later on, it would become very popular as the rest of the army went, hang on, this Sturmgeschützing, it's really good. Ja, we want the Sturmgeschütz too. And then, of course, they couldn't have it. But yeah, little fun fact there. Little fun fact there. The design even impressed the Soviet army, so they started, like, make their own copies of it. Like the Issue 6. They even made like a version based off the Panzer IIIs they captured, but also stuff like the Issue 5. So, little fun fact there. Skirmishing guards push against the Osttruppen here. Again, I'm sorry, I'm just trying to like keep my eye on the cat, which is just, yeah, really time to get my hand here. Just a bit difficult to multitask when part of the task is trying to not get your hand gnawed off. Stuka being lightly skirmished, they've got it from the field in the rear. Panzer with the knees up close, Geballte Ladung there. Routing them, and we got the pioneers in the trench there. Note the way he's positioned here, of course, means he can't use it as a machine gun, but at the same time his opponent occupies it, they can't use a machine gun against Vandermoos either. Second Stuttgart here for Vandermoos, a full battery of them. By 1944-45, most Stugis were definitely no longer being serviced, most of them were in training or replacement units. Any frontline units would have been equipped with Stug Gs. Typically, in the Panzer Division's case, actually been Stug 4s. Or Hetzers. You got the guns with the advancing conscripts. Need to fix up the Stug E. Pressing south is there. No pillman machines added to Vandermoos's Stugs. Decent shot there. Yevgeny blown to bits. Yevgeny. Up north, their point being grabbed here. We also got light machines on all the troops that can be equipped, of course, except for the Panzergrenadiers, who's got the Sturmgewehr. He's routed. Now the Pack 40 here for Vandermoos. We got the mechanized armor company for Umirinbrah. He's advancing into line of fire with the Stugi. Same Stugi bombarding as well. Boundary from the conscripts, of course, the war went on. The Stugis would find themselves put into all manner of roles, including replacement tanks in tank battalions. Of course, also service as a tank destroyer in tank destroyer units, but in general, and then of course there's a bit of misconception, it was never really a tank destroyer, but again, the tank destroyer role in a sense was just part of the assault gun role within the German army. I think there's a crucial distinction to keep in mind there. Anyways, conscripts attacking up to the northern Grenadiers here. Stugi being fixed up. Still no pillman machines there to Vandermoos's Stugis. T-Fed found for Umirinbrah. That's definitely going to be a tough one to deal with. I mean, 2 Pack 4s can do it, but the Stugis are going to be not super helpful unless you can at least get some heat shells off against it. Bombarding here the northern conscript squad. Kills Boris. Basil, really sad he didn't get to gnaw my hand off, as you can hear there. He's dreadfully sad. A lament for hand not eaten. He's a silly cat. Anyways, got the T-Fed fire here for Umirinbrah and the Red Army. Equipped with the CIS, I believe it was 5 or CIS 6 85mm gun there, which saw extensive usage on a variety of Soviet equipment, the KV-85, the Aish-85, the IS-1/IS-85. Also saw its service with it. So there you go, racing through the south here, expecting the northern line to be, or the northern front to be where it's actually defended heavily, which in fact turns out to be the direct decision, right here by Umirinbrah. Catches Vandermoos a bit off guard. He could have supported with some smoke, I think, around the center, just to mess further with Vandermoos' ability to defend and figure out what's going on here. Up north of this, still a small detachment, which we can see that Vandermoos is trying to deal with. He could deploy some smoke to cover up for an advance himself. But so far, no use of smoke here by Vandermoos. Panzer moving forward, especially 2 there. Thumbs up. T-Fed fast strikes. There we go. Stugi planning further covering fire then. Also a bit of a bonus to the Panzer communities, making them harder to kill. T-34-5 taking hit from the Pack 40. The Panzer Abwehrkanone 40. Veterans won the Stugi, opening up for the heat shell. Grabbing the point here. Down here, troops reinforcing healing for Umirinbrah. Point C's there. Panzer moving forwards. Friedrich there loses his life. We got Stugi running coming fast well always. Still no pin-up machines in the Stugi. I feel like that's a slight miss there. But there you go. Good hit from the Stugi there. Leaves out the console dead. There you go. Bun grenade. Heavy losses here for your mains infantry. But there you go. Almost blows out his own panzers with the Stugi in return, which is definitely less desirable there for Vandermoos. In the centre there, engineers suppresses. They try to sneak up there on the centre victory point. But Vandermoos and the 16th Panzer Grenadiers are having none of that. No sign of it yet for Vandermoos. I wonder what he's planning. Panther 4 maybe. Stugis. Chief going for the next tier, I don't know. We got 351 to 386. And we got another Pioneer squad here for Vandermoos and the German army feeling bad here with the Stug E. Good shot there. Full kills on it. South Grenadiers was the engineers there trying to get some kills, and in fact he does. Almost wiping out. They're definitely Umirinbrah is not paying attention, which is absolutely great for Vandermoos' Grenadiers, as that pretty much allows them some very easy kills. North guards around here with the Stug E and the Grenadiers there. Grenadiers holding up in the trenches for as long as they can against the T-35. There are limits what they can achieve without just being wasted. No sign of the Panther 4 yet here. Stug G might be a sign here that Vandermoos is planning something a bit greater, but we'll have to see. As for Umirinbrah, he is certainly not close to any armor himself either for the time being. Stug E moves straight to the base, engaging the heavy mortar. He's being hammered here by the T-35. Got the Osprey fighting coming far, but the Grenadiers definitely need to retreat. In fact, it might just be too late here for Vandermoos, to be honest. I think there's a good chance they're going to get wiped. Okay, got the Supremacy up there for Vandermoos. Looks like he was not planning to for after all. Might then just be a Panther 4 here, some Stugs, which I think would be a good decision here by Vandermoos. North here, we got the Panzer vs. the Consuls there. Grenadiers wiped. We'll have to see if he replaces them. I expect him to do so. He seems fairly committed to going for at least 4 infantry squads here, so the question is, does he go for Panzer Grenadier or some Ostermal Grenadiers? There you go, Panther for Vandermoos. The Panzerkampfwagen 4. And the center unit is creeping up here for Umirinbrah and the Red Army. Straight to the MG-32 though, that is not going to end up too well for them. Northeast Stug E providing some light artillery support here for the infantry. Gas being mowed down. Panther 4 almost done here. Back at base here, Umirinbrah, he's got close to another T-35 here, which would definitely be a challenge there for Vandermoos. Hey, Mortar continues to be a great investment here for Umirinbrah and the Red Army. You could even consider a second one here, particularly a more smaller map and narrow, like Faymonville Approach. A second Hey Mortar could be a massive pain in the posterior there for Vandermoos. But there you go, second Panther ready. Panzers are basically laying down some trenches up north, or digging trenches. And there we go, Stug E with veteran 2 shots and added. Note, any actual Stug E's likely would not have received any armoured side skirts, since that was only really the Stug Model G there that actually saw armoured side skirts. North we got the Panzer back. The Consul getting a wipe there, very good here for Vandermoos. Umirinbrah meanwhile with a T-35 on the way here, and D-42's mowing down the conscripts. No mercy displayed here by Vandermoos and the German army. Stug E there, close to veterans 1. Machine them in trouble here with the heavy mortar, which has got 9 kilometers to in the south here. Push forward as well is met with fierce resistance for the Osttruppen. But there you go, grenade off here on them, and better damage dealt there. In the end, though, that does force Vandermoos to retreat them. Second T-35 has arrived. T-35, that is. Will Umirinbrah use it more aggressively here versus Vandermoos? I mean, he does, I think, need to apply some more pressure soon. The south, Stug E moves in against the Guardsmen. We got the Pioneers blocking up. There you go. T-35 goes for the Stug E. We got a marked vehicle, possibly in the Stug E. There we go. He really wants the Sturmgeschütz 3 Ausführung E kaputt. But there's so many packs and Panthers and other things there. Now we got a heat shell here from Vandermoos. Needs to deploy smoke here. Other T-35 forming in the field, coming in a flank here, but there's a good chance that Umirinbrah loses his T-35 here to Vandermoos, and his Panther 4 as he gets very, very lucky, which could happen, There you go, lost the T-35, did not get enough lucky, but at least he took out the Panther 4. Still quite below the Umirinbrah. Stuggy, they're taking nasty to get the filling out before Vandermoos and Deutschland clears out. The Stuggy moving up as well here. 6 kills. Batonchik 2 slowly approaching Batonchik in the south here, pumping seas for the guardsman. Umirinbrah needs to do something, I think, a bit more drastic here right now. His engagement style, I think, favours Vandermoos more than it favours himself, to put it gently. And there you go. More punches here for Vandermoos. Thumbs up. We got more guardsmen for Umirinbrah. Definitely not a bad idea. I think some more heavier infantry that can sort of help pressure through Vandermoos' lines, I think, is a good investment. Surprised it didn't go for that a bit sooner. Southern victory point secured. There we got 3 and 45, so 3 and 4. He still needs to launch a proper assault here versus Vandermoos. Second, Panzer Squad, this is going to make things a bit more awkward here though for Umirinbrah and the Red Army. Also a bit rare to see a Wehrmacht player go for like 2 Panzer Grenadier squads. So again, I personally think Panzer Grenadiers are pretty good, particularly in the hands of a good player. Bun grenade off here. Counter falling a bit back from that. Obviously having no intention of having their faces blown clean off. Dartman far from the Stuggy. Close victory on the second one as well there. Feel like he could be using the Haymalter against Pride smoke cover there for an advance against Vandermoos. Bit surprised he hasn't done that at all. There you go. Panzers quickly occupying the trench. Guardsmen getting hammered by the Stuggy. Heavy losses inflicted. T55 covering fire. But it's definitely looking a bit like a sting situation for Umirinbrah. He's trying to punch through here, but it's just... Actually, it's not even trying to punch through. He's just like hoping he gets lucky and sort of somehow manages to like find a crack and just pull through. North, we do get tier 4 there from Vandermoos and the German army. Looks like 16th Panzer Grenadier Division has been able to successfully bring up Corps Command and call in reinforcements from higher up the chain. South here we got the Guardsmen, the advancing Grenadiers here. Ace level versus ace level. With 2 light machine guns, the Grenadiers are definitely not favoured. Plus at that range, him that tried to stand and fight, he can just pop a fragmentation grenade and, well, frag him. Guardsmen forwards here. No Molotovs here. MD42 being pushed back. Having some success with a good push here against Vandermoos. But looks it. But there you go. Another heat shell here. Machine gun wiped out. Good kill there for Umirinbrah. Can he get his hands on them? They can't get into retreat. They can't grab it because they're about to get murdered by the Stugs. Certainly proving their worth there as an investment. Stuggy is definitely also a slight tendency, I think, of being overlooked by Wehrmacht players. At least in the current match. Obviously, there used to be one point where Stuggy's were actually like, completely busted. That wasn't a fun meta either. But, you know, I think now they're sort of in a good spot. They just, you know, not super bustos. It just causes some people just ignore them. But again, I think the Stuggy's like, you know, a pair of them can actually do quite a bit of good work there. About to destroy the field gun here. Good Panzer Grenadier push as well here by Vandermoos. Really leaving Umirinbrah once more in a bit of a tight spot. So that definitely leaves Umirinbrah a bit exposed. I mean, he's just lost his anti-tank. I mean, he only really has the teeth for trying to seriously hit back at the Stuggies because the Guardsmen are very much just getting obliterated by a, you know, volley, a rain of high explosive shells from 2 assault guns. Ground point in the south. Guardsmen advancing Panzer Grenadier. T5 arrives, engaging the Panzer Grenadier out in the open. Veterans C1 gained, advancing through the center again, but worth noting, again, no smoke screens here to make at least a bit harder for Vandermoos to murder Umirinbrah's infantry. Heavy Panzer crop there for Vandermoos. I'm guessing with 2 Stuggies out, he's probably not thinking a Sturmpanzer 4. I would be a bit baffled at that one. I'm guessing it's a Panther, maybe Panzerwerfer, but honestly, again, with 2 Stuggies, I don't even think he needs the Panzerwerfer, to be honest. Like, the 2 Stuggies are just doing the job significantly more cost efficient than, like, other Sturmpanzer or, you know, Panzerwerfer, to be honest. Like, they can deploy smoke. The Panzerwerfer cannot. H5 here, Umirinbrah. You know, not a bad choice with the Stuggies, for sure. Probably his better choice there because the field guns are definitely also at risk. He's just getting obliterated by the Stuggies. Like, one has got 19 kills, almost 23. The other one is 10, but it's almost also veteran. If you have North here, contrast the Packlanese by the point. Trench under fire from the right from it, and there you go. Heavy losses. Most of the unit obliterated. The corpses littering the trench like a pre-duck grave. So yeah, likely a Panther here for Vandermoos. They could also just go for a bunch of Stugs, but I'm guessing at this point with 2 Stuggies, he just wants something that's a little easier to manage. And there you go. First use of smoke by a player is Vandermoos with the Stug E deploying smoke. Thumbs up. No use of smoke here by Umirinbrah at all. Of course, the role of sort of providing, you know, that's more artillery support there like that, but, you know, more high explosive shells there like that would of course shift towards the Stu 42 and other equipment. But even then, like, of course, the Stu G could still provide artillery support. He still carried a fair amount of high explosive shells. I think it's also worth keeping in mind, like, at least officially, they were still, you know, only carrying around 33% armor piercing, and the rest would have been high explosive shells. So, of course, reality was they did actually carry much more than that. They removed the racks and just store ammunition loosely. But, you know, quick note there. H5 takes some hits here. Pack 40 being a problem there for it. Panther's almost done here. Stuggies are very, very close to the ace level here. And of course, the gun itself will also see continued usage on a variety of lighter vehicles, like the 250 half-tech, 250 half-tech would have versions mounted with the gun here. And they'd have armoured cars of the heavier kind, mounted also with a similar gun there. So, you know, they did have, in a sense, like, still a lot of these, you know, early assault gun type units as well there. Even as the Stugs became more towards, you know, the 75mm cannon for a more balanced anti-tank, anti-infantry role. Panther there, though, could of course add a pinlock machine gun. He has, by the way, added machine guns to the Stuggies. Thumbs up to that, at least. But yeah, Umirinbrah sort of kind of bogged down. He's, you know, he's not completely in trouble, but at the same time, Vandermoos, I think, holds a lot of strong cards. And I think also more crucially, he's using his resources a bit more smartly. Like, you know, he's actually got assault troops. He's using smoke. And he's also, I think, attacking a bit better here than Umirinbrah. But there you go, Panther being met here. With heavy fire, we got the Stuggies, we got bang grenades going off, and we can just see Umirinbrah's infantry being obliterated here under a tide of fire. Panther can score that ace little pushback. There we go. Panther's going for the H-35 there. Meanwhile, the Stuggies just continue to just obliterate anything. It's all squishy. There you go. H-35 knocked out with the Panther. It's a stinging blow there to Umirinbrah and the Red Army. And I think at this point, Umirinbrah's chances of winning this are fairly slim. So we're to use the heat shells and they're like, you know, pretty much prevent the Chief from engaging the Panther at all. Pack's moving in there. Apparently the H-35 was not knocked out. Oh, maybe it was abandoned and recruited, I don't know. But either way, that's gone. Pack's Panther then engaging the Chief-5. And down that goes one. That Umirinbrah surrenders a loss here for the Red Army. A victory for Deutschland. A victory, of course, for the Stug E. For the Panzergrenadier. I mean, he kind of went for a lot of the stuff I normally recommend people to go for. Well, not Stuggies, but just Stugs general. He could have also gone for a half. I would say well played here by Vandermoos. I think he handled the engagement quite well. He also, I think, avoided like pointless engagements. He outmaneuvered his opponent when he had to. Meanwhile, Umirinbrah definitely struggled as the match went on. He could rely much more on the same tactic. He didn't try to adapt as well there. He also failed to use smoke here versus Vandermoos. So I think there's definitely some areas of improvement there for Umirinbrah. But there you go. Hope you enjoyed this match. You'll learn something from it. If you did, subscribe, like, share, comment on it. Tell a friend, tell a family. But don't tell enemies. This is Imperial Links and cheers. Thank you for watching. Hope you tomorrow again for a nice episode. Bye.